Oh my god. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, push the button. Oh my god, it's time to push the button. What's up, everybody? There's nobody here today. What's up, nerds? What's going on? It is, it's June 17th, 2024. Getting ready, getting hot and ready and hot and fresh for the summer. The summertime cometh. The summertime cometh. So, in celebration of the summer, it is 56 degrees and raining outside. Welcome to June. We got 4 days until summer, so I guess technically, the weather's allowed to do this for 4 more days, right? So I think we have like 4 more days that it's allowed to be mid-50s and pouring down rain. I was going to look at the weather forecast earlier, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. Because I was wondering what's going to happen the rest of this week. Okay, it's going to be 81 by Friday. 81 degrees and sunny, and then over the weekend it's going to start raining again. Okay, so it's going to be nicer this week later on. Not on Monday, though. You having a bad case of the Mondays? I feel bad for you, son. It's cold and rainy out, though, I'll tell you that. Okay, at the beginning of the stream here, I have to say hit the like button. Subscribe. If you're on Replay Team 6, leave a comment down below. Appreciate you all last week leaving more comments down below to let me know that you are, in fact, a member of Replay Team 6. Now, Replay Team 6 is a free club that you can join just by leaving a comment, and then you get granted access into the Replay Team 6 team, crew, club, whoever you are. The members up here, people have to pay for this, and I'm sorry to say we are down to 45 YouTube members at this point, but Patreon holds strong at 124. Actually, I think it might have gone up by 1. We have to double check. Patreon may have gone up by 1. Yeah, it's hard to say. Let me see. Loading. No, 124. Okay, so we're correct. We are correct on that one. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. Good times, and that's all the beginning of the stream stuff that we need to talk about. The weather, raining and cold, but not super cold, tolerably cold. I can deal with mid-50s. It's fine. It's when it's 37 degrees and raining out. It's brutal. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many Celsius that is. 2, 1, I don't know. Anyhow, on to bigger and better topics like Father's Day. Yesterday was Father's Day, and as you guys know, I am a father of one known child. I'm a father of at least one child. So, as the father of at least one child, yesterday was Father's Day. I was awoken. Well, I wasn't awoken. I wake up long before they do normally. I just stayed in bed because I was like, if everybody else is sleeping and then I get out of bed, and if I'm out of bed before they're out of bed, then I catch the blame for waking them up, right? Have you ever noticed that when you're the early one that gets up and then you're up and you're kind of like just quietly doing stuff around the house, and then somebody will be like, Well, of course I got up. You woke me up. And you're like, I didn't wake anybody up. I was just here. And they're like, you know, your lovely spouse is like, yeah, but you getting out of bed wakes me up. So I'll just stay in bed then and just wait till they get up. I was greeted by a tiny gremlin named Olivia, who made me stay in bed while they made breakfast. So they made scrambled eggs and French toast. It was good. I ate it all, like you're supposed to. She wanted me to have breakfast in bed, and I've never been somebody who wants to eat in the bed. You know, unless it's extracurricular, right? So don't want to eat in bed. So I was like, oh, no, I'll get up. And then I got a surprise. There was a surprise package for Father's Day, and it was a new. It's a belt-on clip that holds my my speed square. I don't know if you guys know what a speed square is. Hold on, let me get a link. So we can try and boost our Amazon sales, right? Is that what we're supposed to do? Hold on. And let's see if we can't find one. Let's see if we can't find one that's legit. Let's see, the Swanson Speed Square is the old one. That's the old trusty one. But the Swanson Speed Square does not have the features that a lot of the new Speed Squares have. And I know that, like, this is a very niche talking point, but where's the one that I use? Let's see if we can't find it. Do 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 do. Well, maybe they don't have it on Amazon. Maybe they don't. I don't know. The one that I use is actually the Milwaukee one. Trying to see if there's one on here that is equatable. Oh, I actually have one of these. One of the Thorvald ones. So here you go. I'll post a link in the chat, and if you're gonna go there and buy stuff, remember it's an affiliate link. So you know, we get commissions. Anyhow, that's a Speed Square, and then there's no real way to carry that around very well. So they got me a belt clip for carrying around a Speed Square, which I think was like, Happy Father's Day, get back to work, right? Can you go build some more stuff? Oh, okay. No, I kid. It was a thoughtful present, but realistically, we got to talk about the big Father's Day present that we got, and that right here. Let me see if I can't get it to focus. I have to give it one item to focus on, and not a face. There it is. We're back. We're back, baby. We're back, baby, in the Mr. Brown's iced coffee world. We back. We back, or at least until these run out. We got some Mr. Brown's. We're going to go crazy drinking a case of Mr. Brown's coffee for the dad style. The dad style. Oh, there's a little bit left at the bottom. All right, there we go. We're caffeinated. We're caffeinated for a live stream. We're down in our Mr. Brown's. We're going big because it's Monday and it's raining. So we like that. We like that about all of those things. I forgot to open the green room. I'm going to open the green room just to make sure that the green room is open. And if you wanted to be on the green room, you got to become a patron or a member. Then you sign up on our Discord, and you can come in here and yell at me with your voice if you want. Okay. There we go. We got the Mr. Browns. The dad version of a vacuum. Yeah, that's right. It's like the dad version of Mother's Day vacuum present. And, yeah. Yeah. So, anyhow, what was our main thing that I wanted to talk about today? Aquascaping in America was my topic for today. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is because there's a strange difference in the aquascaping ability and access that Europe, Asia seem to have over the United States, strangely enough. And I have been thinking about it for years now and trying to figure out exactly what the difference is. Like, I get that Sierra stone and stone like that are coming from, geographically, they're coming from Japan and whatnot. So it's, you do have to think, hey, a lot less of that rock is going to be moved across a big giant ocean. I don't know if you guys know if you've heard the rumors, if you've heard of the Pacific Ocean. It is in between the United States and America, and moving a lot of tons of rock over that body of water is likely to cost money, right? So people aren't necessarily inclined to spend that money. And when you start to think about it, you go, okay, well, if somebody's not inclined to spend that money, who is it, right? And of course, if we were to talk to Ronald Reagan, we would go, oh, he would say, yeah, that's the job creators. The job creators don't want to spend the money to do that. And you go, oh, okay. So what you're saying is that corporations don't want to do it. And the corporations have analyzed and they've figured out that the bottom line says, don't move all that stuff across the states. It doesn't make enough money. But the reason it doesn't make a lot of money is because there's a drought of the actual stuff here. There's a dearth, right? If you were to go to Petco or PetSmart or whatever other big chain store in the United States, that stuff is just not represented at all. Like, it doesn't exist in the big box stores. Specialty rock, actual driftwood that is wood, right? Most of the stuff that is there is SpongeBob stuff, plastic plants, plastic rocks, things that are made out of petroleum products, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, one of the last things that I want to do as far as adding something to my aquarium is adding petroleum products to my aquarium. I don't want to do that. I'm honestly questioning if I even want to be having petroleum products that hold my water in them, right? Because it begs the question of, we know this stuff is toxic. We know this stuff is going to leach into the water over time, especially if it's something that stays underwater for a long period of time. And I don't even know if I want to put that stuff in my body, let alone have that fish end up with that in their bodies, right? So, strangely enough, you go, oh, okay, so we're looking at basically, this all just comes into a cost breakdown analysis of like, oh, moving a bunch of petroleum products across the ocean is much cheaper than moving a bunch of heavy stuff like rocks and whatnot across the ocean. So, well, we'll just move the petroleum products and it will realistically be the only thing that's available. And strangely enough, I have been around the United States. There aren't that many shops that even carry aquascaping goods, that even carry a selection of aquascaping goods. And I think the reality is that like the retail side of things has become pretty cost prohibitive. Realistically in the States to be trying to do business, especially in a niche market like fish keeping, when half of the people that you're competing with are doing online sales and shipping stuff to people. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of change over the next 20 years that says suddenly, oh, retail is super important. Considering a lot of things, people don't have a lot of spare time. People don't have a lot of spare money at this point. Traveling to go like to a store actually costs money. So when you start to account all those things, you could kind of see the writing on the wall that retail probably isn't going to last all that long. Unless there's like a concerted effort from the population to go, all right, I'm no longer going to buy from Petco online or whatever, right? And have it shipped to my house. I'm no longer going to order from Chewy or whatever and have it shipped to my house. That people are going to actually have to go to stores to buy stuff, and there have to be some kind of concerted effort for people to do that. Now, I don't know that there will ever be the ability to get a movement like that to happen, right? I really doubt, with the way things are looking right now as far as how the United States is sort of organized, how are you going to get people to consistently show up to a shop when we can't even get them to like go vote once a year, right? We can't get them to show up to local club meetings as much, right? We can't get people to show up to like auctions as much. I know, like, I went to the big Greater Seattle Aquarium Society auction this last time. I went. There was like definitely a much smaller audience, and some people would say, "Oh, well, maybe it was the weather. Oh, maybe it was this. Oh, maybe it was that." And but I think the reality is that like people are looking and appearing to me like they're having less and less ability to like go do things, especially when it comes to like, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere and spend money. I'm going to be really interested this year in what, moving into the winter, and what certain things like, how do the NFL ticket sales look? How do, I actually flew on a plane recently that wasn't full. Right? And you know how weird that was? It was so weird. There was like strangers on the plane that were like, I was like, is this plane not full? And they're like, this plane isn't full. Right? And so I'm honestly wondering, as the next, 9 months to a year, what it's realistically going to look like. And I'm not sure that like retail is really looking to survive. And I honestly think that retail is sort of is realistically like the backbone of the ability for any of the businesses to try and get into doing anything. And I think as far as aquascaping goes, like here's a perfect example of something that I have never seen this in store. I've never seen this in a store. Does that mean that it doesn't exist in a store? No, there must be a store somewhere that carries it. But this is the Aquascape foam that I use. As you can see, it's got an Amazon inspected sticker on it because I bought it secondhand. I think it was somebody bought it and sent it back. Maybe they bought the wrong thing. I don't know. But this is aquascaping foam. This is that black waterfall foam that I use for aquascaping. I've never been able to find this in a store. I would gladly pay $21 instead of $20 if I could just go get it at a store. But no, I've never seen this anywhere. Now, if somebody has seen this somewhere, I would love to find out where that is. If it's somewhere even remotely near to me, I probably would go there and try to make that happen, right? So, yeah, and I think that like that's the biggest difference is that, I've been to stores in Europe. I've been to stores in South America. I've been to stores in America. Haven't been to Asia yet. Someday I'll go there. I definitely want to go to Japan, and this seems like the weirdest reason, and I think I've mentioned this on the stream before. One of the reasons I want to go to Japan is to ride on the super fast train, right? Hold on, I wanted to see what's the fastest train in Japan? Oh, they call it a Hayabusa. Go figure. The Hayabusa goes 200 miles an hour, which is 320 kilometers an hour. But then again, I think we may have to amend this because there might actually just be a faster train somewhere. Hold on. Let's see if there's the fastest train, period. Although I do trust the Japanese for their fast trains. Oh, the fastest one is in China. Oh, man. I don't trust that. I feel like if I went to China to go on the fast train, it probably would crash the time that I was there. Okay, let's see. World's fastest trains. These are the fastest trains in the world, including one that can operate at 374 miles per hour. The LO Series Maglev, 374 miles per hour. France, the TGV POS. The POS. The piece of shit. 357 miles per hour. China, 302. The Shanghai Maglev, 268. Okay, so maybe we have to go somewhere else. What's the fastest train? Maybe we got to figure out where it is. Do 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 do. Okay, the 10 fastest train. Cookies. We go to cookies settings. We go none. Where's the fastest train? Trenitalia. Fraccaria Rosa? I don't know. I don't even know what that word is. Fraccaria Rosa? Italy. Italian state railway operator. Co-developed. That's number 10. Okay, number 9 is the Co-Rail Sancheon, Korea. Oh my God, there's one in Spain? I was in Spain. Where does it go? Crap, I could have gone on this one because I was in Barcelona. It goes from Barcelona to Madrid. Fuck. We could have done it. Although I did get COVID while I was there, so we missed some days. Morocco, Japan, France. Germany. Okay, we could go to Germany. China. The top 3 are China. 501 kilometers an hour. But it has an average speed of 251 kilometers an hour. It's the fastest one. Okay. Well, I don't know. I wanted to go to Japan and go on their trains. I don't know. Maybe I have to amend that thought and maybe go to France instead. Go on the fast train. Oh, my God. Skogs Shrimp and Stuff has gifted 20 memberships. Holy shit. 20 memberships is a lot, bro. That puts us up to 65. Who got gifted? Shelby Ray, Linda Worth, Mark, Andy Rampage, Kelly Roach, Guppy Girl, Carla M, D-Rock, Daniel Velez. Vinoksky. New Local Austin. Rene Dequois. Gary Chodorow. Alex Jones. Alex Jones? What the fuck? Dana at Duckweed Elbows. CK, Jen Yu, James Dover. Night Owl Aquatics. Critty Bitty. Oh, they all got gifted 1 month of free membership to the channel from Steven himself. Well, thanks, my guy. We appreciate that. This isn't open. Gotta open it. Gotta open it, otherwise you don't get sips. Oh, Sierra just got a big rock and wood shipment on Friday. I know because I priced it and put it away. Well, maybe I'll come and look at the wood, but I don't know. Show some love by liking this video and subscribe to stay in the loop. That FishFam link bot is relentless. I'm telling you. Spare money. I don't get that concept anymore. Hey, I see Puffy. Yes, Puffy is back there. If you guys are looking around, every once in a while, Puffy will come trolling by looking for a snail or something. Let me see if I can see him. Yeah, he's like right off screen. He's like right there. He's holding still, so I'm thinking he's hunting something. He's probably hunting. He's probably on the attack for extraordinarily evasive snails, right? Well, he's still looking fat. He's got a little fat belly, so he must be finding something to eat. The bullet train. Yeah, I want to go on the bullet train. I want to go ride some bullet trains around. I don't know why. Some reason in my mind. I don't know. Maybe it's the child in me. Maybe I got a young boy living in my brain that's like trains. You know, same thing with like fire engines. You know, fire engines go by. Oh, fire engine! Wow. I'm excited by trains. I don't know why. Public transportation is exciting to me. One of the videos I was thinking about making was about the subway system in Barcelona. My God, man, I'm telling you, the ability to get around town and utilize the train system there, it's fucking top tier, dude. The Catalonians know what's up. They knew what was up. The Catalans? Are the Catalonians or... Catalans. Yeah, I don't speak Catalan. It's like weird. It's like weird, bro. You know? But everybody spoke Spanish, so that was pretty easy. And most people spoke English, so that's way easy. In Barcelona, very rarely did I really need to like translate very hard because a lot of people spoke English, which is seemingly the way of the world now. That like if you see somebody who's basically under 40, at some point, an education system was like, you should probably learn English and have taught them at least like some rudimentary English, which is interesting. Excuse me. I got the burps today. I don't know what's going on. But that's life, because yesterday was Father's Day. So the rest of the stuff we did for Father's Day were... what did we have to do? We had to drive somewhere to shop for... What the F was it? Chicken food. We had to go pick up chicken food yesterday, which is always fun, because then I get to go to the farm co-op that's an actual co-op, which is always nice. It's always nice to go to a real co-op that's actually owned by the employees cooperatively. And the people that work there are super happy and super nice and very friendly and very knowledgeable, because it's an actual co-op, and The workers own the means of production, right? So while it is a retail place, the people there cooperatively own it. So we belong to one of those. It's a farm co-op, and it's nice. I like going to it, and they always have interesting things going on. This time of year, they don't have the chicks anymore, but that is definitely the best time to take your kids to the farm co-op because the kids love chicks, little baby chicks. They love it, and they always have a pretty good assortment of all sorts of birds you didn't think that you wanted to buy. If you bring your wife, chances are you're probably going to end up buying some kind of small bird you didn't think that you were going to own. But now you own it, and now you got to figure it out. So for some people, it can be good. For some people, it can be maybe stressful on their relationship. I don't know, but it's good times for us normally. We literally do not have the tank space for giant koi. That wouldn't matter because if you're in Washington, you would just want to go to koi.com. They're in Bothell, right? These guys. If you're looking for koi, you want to go to Pan Intercorp, which is koi.com, KOI.com. And these guys are in These guys are in Bothell. Are they still in Bothell? I think they are. They shouldn't have moved. Kenmore. Sorry, they're in Kenmore, Washington, which is right next to Bothell. Pan Intercorp. These guys are fantastic. And if you're looking for koi, that's where you'd want to go anyhow. And if you're at Alyssa's store in Renton, is it in Renton? You would just want to just drive over to Bothell anyhow. Sorry, Kenmore. I keep calling it Bothell. And go there and get whatever koi you wanted to get. Those are the guys. Koi for sale. What koi do they have for sale right now? Oh, they have a lot of sold fish posted up here. I don't know. Are they still around? That's a question. Is Witchy Cat in the chat? Oh my God, Witchy Cat's here. What's up, dude?
Just checking in. What's up with you? Well, I didn't know. Never mind. I know what's up with you.
Is it fucking raining over there? What are you doing?
Just sitting here.
What are you doing?
Is that better? Nothing. Am I supposed? I'm literally just doing things.
Why aren't you doing something? You're supposed to be doing something. And then we all go. We all go.
All morning.
We go. Ooh. Ah. No? Oh, you just been working?
I've been working all morning.
Putting the cover sheet on the TPS report?
Yes.
All right.
Watching Zip Gun play Minecraft. On my
Did
phone.
you get the memo?
So many memos.
Yeah.
And most of them not really all that great.
Most of them useless.
I'm wearing a lot of flare though, so it's all good.
Oh, you have enough 19 points of flare?
I do. All 30 pieces.
Yeah, but that's the minimum, you know?
Right.
So, you know, we might want to get those numbers up. How many fucking Google Drives am I in? Oh my God. What is going on over here? This shit is wild.
I can only account for one.
Man, I think we were talking about child mortality a while ago. Oh my God. I'm going to close that. That's morbid.
That is.
Holy shit. Close that. What was that? Loud music. Oh yeah. This weekend, we will be traveling to Sacramento, California for the Findig. We're going to go to the Findig. We're going to see what the Findig is all about. Now, I forgot who it was that said you should go to Findig. I forget. Somebody said it in the chat.
Kelly?
And then,
Maybe.
huh?
Kelly, maybe? Or John? I don't remember.
I don't know. You're just saying. And then I will say I forgot. I don't know.
There we go.
I forget who it was. I don't know. They said you should go to the Findig, and I was like, oh, let me send the link to Vicky during the stream, and I think I did. And then she was like, oh, you want to go to this? Okay. I booked to the hotel. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyhow, so she booked it, and we're going to go. We're going to go hang out with Tom Barr. I already talked to him a couple times. He is one of the speakers that we're going to see, and see what the Findig is all about. I've been to Sacramento a few times. Actually, probably more than a few times in my life. It's not a very exciting city, but we're really only there for a couple nights, and then we're coming right back. And should be fun. That's what we're doing this weekend. So I guess if you're close to Sacramento, or going to the Findig or whatever, I guess I'll see you there. I don't know what to expect. It doesn't seem like it's a big giant convention. It seems like it's the local Sacramento convention, but I don't know. We're going to see what happens. We're going to go check it out and see if there's high points or low points. You know, my understanding is that the hotel is quite near the airport. So we're basically going to the airport, and then we're going to be like near the airport. And then that's that. Right? And then when it's time to leave, we're just going to go to the airport.
Well, that sounds like a very wide-reaching trip.
Yeah, it's not going to be the most exciting thing. Because I think the hotel is basically like one of the airport hotels. Yeah, I think it's
So I'm
close.
hearing that there'll be at least one black tie event, maybe some swanky dining, a little ballroom dancing.
They won't have any of that.
Maybe.
I mean, they might. I don't know. It wasn't on the thing. It wasn't on the thing, so I don't think so. Let me find the info. Oh my God, sewer inspection. Okay. I don't know where the info is now. Oh, this might be it. We may have found it. Rare fish auction hosted by Pam Chin. That's the Findig thing, but okay. We may just have to look this up. Hold on.
All right.
Oh, does it say you're supposed to be 16 and over? What was that? Oh, I'm going back. Oh, no, 16 and over is $30. So, well, luckily, Olivia doesn't have to pay for admission. Yeah, it's at... let me look up the address, because it's, like, super close to the airport, I think. The Hyatt Place Sacramento. Yeah, the Hyatt Place Sacramento International Airport Hotel. So it's like,
Nice.
oh, I guess the airport's over there, and I think you got to go like 2 exits or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully they have a bus of some kind, a shuttle. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, we got to like get an Uber or whatever. Actually, it's farther from the hotel than I thought, or farther from the airport than I thought. Let's see, 2 exits. I don't know, three exits from the airport. So there'll still be airplanes flying over. But they better have a fucking shuttle. It says it's a 3-star hotel.
Well, it's a Hyatt.
Well, they have a swimming pool.
Ooh.
I think
It's
that's
California,
basically
so you can even do it outside.
it's basically the extent of what Olivia will be up to the whole time. We'll be like, we're gonna go to the swimming pool.
Right?
I'm bored. You know, like okay. Well, it looks like they have breakfast. Okay. Well, at least breakfast is handled by the hotel, and there's a swimming pool. So Olivia will remember having gone to this because she'll be like, oh, yeah, that place with the swimming pool. Just like Disneyland, you guys. I got to tell you, at some point in time, Olivia will really remember having gone to Disneyland. Now, she remembers going to Disneyland, and then I'm like, did you have fun at Disneyland? She's like, yeah. And you go like, what was the best part of Disneyland? And you go like, the swimming pool. You're like, what the fuck, man? That was the last day when we were leaving and we didn't want to go to Disneyland again. Like, great. We could have just flown to a hotel and gone to the swimming pool, and she would have been like, oh, that's great.
Enjoy that one while it lasts.
If I wasn't actually very pleased with the appearance of the goldfish in my pond, I'd consider getting some koi instead if my pond was bigger. Yeah, I think that's the biggest concern that I have as far as like getting koi. Is like I just don't have a body of water. I don't have a body of water sufficient for keeping large koi. Could I build one? Yes. At one point in time, I used to work for Corey McElroy, the aquarium co-op guy. He made me hand dig a pond in his front yard for his koi. So I can testify that I can physically build a koi pond by myself. I don't know why he wanted me to hand dig it, but he made me hand dig it. And I think his whole point was like he was going to try and make a video about how like, look how it's possible. You could just build your own koi pond.
Or you can pay someone else to build your own koi pond.
But then I was like, but my point to that is like, actually, that says that somebody like me could build a koi pond, not anyone, right? Like
right.
some dipshit with a shovel and a pickaxe and a jackhammer. Hold on, my neighbor's texting me.
Oh. The elderly lady neighbor?
Different one. Different neighbor. I try to be as community-minded as possible, so I know a bunch of my neighbors, and they just texted me, "Are you home?" I don't know what that means. Does that mean is the building on fire? Is somebody trying to steal my car? I don't know. I don't know what that means. So I'm like, I'm kind of busy right now, but what's going on?
Maybe why?
Yeah, I don't know. What's up?
That's funny.
Oh. I have a delivery next door, and they need an ID for the alcohol. And I thought her husband was going to be there. That's kind of a funny thing to bring up because I don't know, maybe you'd get to know your neighbors a little bit better. I'm a sober guy. Maybe Vicky. I'll see if Vicky can get away. There we go. Hey, Joel, everyone. Was it Luke Wang? He is their president. Oh, you know what? I bet you it was Luke Wang. Good. I bet it was Luke. Funny how he's not in the chat. If it was Luke, I'll meet him this weekend. And if I met him before, I'll be like, hey, I met you before. And if I never met him, I'd be like, nice to meet you.
Hey, did I meet you before?
Tom Barr spoke at my last club meeting. Yeah, the funny thing with Tom is that everybody expects him to be old. Everyone expects him to be like a gray-haired guy, and I think he and I are 2 years apart, I think he's like 46 and I'm 44 or something like that. And so they're like, wait, you're supposed to be an old guy. And you're like, and then he's like, well, you know, You can get a doctorate without being old, kind of thing.
It doesn't have to be in your 50s.
No, everyone thinks he's going to be like 75 or something. I think he's going to be like an old gray-haired Gandalf type character. They think he's going to be Gandalf the Grey, who was admittedly 2,000 years old, but, you know, you get it. But yeah, I dug a hole deep enough to submerge a Rubbermaid tub thing to make my comet pond. One has turned out to be solid black. Oh yeah, that's right. One of your goldfish turned out to be a solid black goldfish, right? Is it still a goldfish if it's black?
Was holding myself back from asking that.
It could be a blackfish.
Then it would be a movie.
Uh-oh, my preview has gone wonky. YouTube does not work as well as it used to. I have to admit that earlier today I was trying to fix some things and change some stuff, and it's like, does fucking YouTube, the website, work anymore? You know? It was to the point where I was like, my internet must be fucked up. So I went and checked my internet, and I'm only at 900 megs a second right now. Right?
Right.
Which is just shy of 1 gigabit a second. I'm like, why isn't this website loading? It's like, oh, that's on their end, not my end. Okay. Because I went, oh, let me go download something real quick, you know, like a movie. Let me see how long it takes to download a movie. Oh, like 16 seconds. Okay. But no, it's YouTube itself, which I'm guessing probably has more to do with the fact that, like, how big YouTube is now more than anything, right? Which is like how many people are on it uploading shit all the time. That's got to be the reason. But I basically was like screaming into the abyss going, how many billions of dollars do you guys really need to get this fucking webpage to work? And no one answered my shaking a fist into the heavens.
The abyss is not hugely communicative. It's a problem.
It could be.
You'd expect it to at least echo back at you, but it doesn't even do that usually.
Yeah, you'd hope, but it just doesn't work. How's it going up on the mountain? How's your weather? Is it raining and cold?
Well, we had frost warnings 2 nights this week. It snowed on several mountains just above my elevation. Because, you know, as I said in the chat here, it's January.
Right.
It's currently thunderstorming and windy and or brilliantly sunny right now, depending on the moment.
It's fluctuating.
Yes, it's the signal is not steady here, so we'll see. I've put the dogs out twice, thinking that it was really nice out, to bring them in 20 minutes later soaked to the skin. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mickham's saying they had to. Mickham's saying that they had to refresh, which seems to be the case today with YouTube. I don't know what's going on, but I think realistically it has everything to do with the size of YouTube now than anything. I would guess their servers are just full all over the place, but you know. Anyhow, but you guys had snow. I saw a post from the county. The county was saying that, oh, we got snow up in the mountains again in June.
Yeah, even the passes. Well, the passes are really grody, because nobody was expecting it. So, it's all right. It's supposed to be 90 next week, so, you know.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I was like, well, what's going on by Friday? And it's like 81, sunny. Oh, okay. Let's see. Stevens, Looks wet. Stevens just looks wet. Oh.
Yeah.
Try.
Go ahead.
No current information available. Uh-oh. Seasonal weather reports have ended for this season.
We're just not even going to talk about it.
Like, we don't even care. You can see the live feed. Oh, I-90 looks moist. Okay.
Yeah, it's warmed up today. Finally.
Oh, no. They got a little something up there on the side. Okay. Oh, it looks nice on the other side, though. Okay. The passes. Scott Coring says, going over Stevens Pass on Saturday, it was snowing on us. Oh, my God. In June. What the hell?
Hey, Scott's the new Patreon guy. Welcome, Scott.
Scott is a new member, new patron. Yes, he's our new patron. He's our newest patron. Much appreciate it. I really do. And I know that, like, this is sort of a weekly vent moment, that I have this weekly vent moment. It always happens. And my apologies to anyone who is like, fuck this guy for even bringing it up. But if you guys want me to make lots of YouTube content, we need lots more Scotts and Witchy Cats and Aubreys and people that can afford $5 a month or a couple bucks a month, because it's a Scrabble life making money right now. And, you know, the more supporters that we have, the more I can, like, oh, let me invest my time in the YouTube thing, and I'll just keep doing YouTube videos. I've been diligently trying to edit stuff, and it has not been working out very well, mainly because I just don't have days dedicated to editing, which is realistically what I need to be able to do, because trying to do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, a little bit here and there, it just really doesn't work, and I don't ever really get to a finished product, and it really sucks, and I don't. And then it's also discouraging on top of it, because it's like, man, I never reach a climax with making the content, right? Because I'm like, well, this part's all fucked up. This is all fucked up. I can't, like, render this. Or I render something and the computer crashes and I have to start over. You know what I mean? It's just like a million different stupid things that, like, nobody really cares about, because they're like, just make the videos. And I'm like, I can't afford to hire an editor. I actually had somebody lined up that wanted to start doing some editing for the channel, and they just got hired on for a full-time job. And they're like, yeah, I don't know if I can do that now. They started learning some editing, to start learning how to do it. And then they just got hired. I think today is their first day. They got hired on a full-time job, and they're like, well, I can't do that now. I got to do this 50 hours a week.
Well, congrats on the job.
So congrats on the job. Yeah, congrats on the job. It's all good, because congrats on the job. It's like good news, but also bad news. You know, you get the good with the bad, and so, you know, it is what it is. Thanks for the welcome. Glad to be here. I've followed for a long time. I want you to keep on keeping on. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep on keeping on. It's a little dicey right now with just how many fucking juggling projects that I have in the air right now, and a lot of them have big giant question marks on them, whether or not they're going to be, what's the word? Like this cabinet project I've been working on. I have all of these cabinets built, and I'm started working on the doors, and the people were like, oh, how much money do you need to finish it? And I was like, well, it's this much so that I can, you know, finish purchasing and then get ready for the install. And they were like, oh, I don't really have that. Can you wait? And I'm like, fuck. So it is what it is. You have to stay sort of positive in the face of stuff like that. So, yeah, it is what it is.
I see a fish question.
What's up? Or do you need people sending you fish plus plants to try in your tanks, or is that just creating chaos, too much to take on, and tanks you already have or other things in? What do you mean?
A Alyssa had a saltwater question.
Oh, I'll just ask. Oh, Alyssa. I don't normally see questions from Alyssa. She's normally just chatting back and forth to people. I'll just ask it, and consequences be damned. Would you put a pair of tomato clowns in with a regal damsel? All three are dicks to everyone. Well, the bigger issue there is like, if you're introducing these fish, how are you going to introduce them? First off, how are you going to quarantine them? Secondly, where where are they coming from? You're going to quarantine. Once you've quarantined them, and then like how you're going to introduce them, because you can introduce the clowns and the regal damsel. If you introduce them all at the same time, chances are they'll probably be like reasonably territorial. As long as the clowns can set a territory, they'll figure out where they want to be, and then the damsel will like figure out its own place. But realistically, like, I know that Alyssa's tank isn't that big. I think it's like a 50-gallon or something like that. The regal damsels like are a pretty cheap fish, honestly, if I recall correctly. I'm gonna look them up and see how much they are. But like in a tank that's like Alyssa's size, mainly because I've seen it, I would focus on getting the clowns and worry less about getting a damsel, right? Damsels are pretty cheap. They're not that like special of a fish, in my opinion. And so I wouldn't worry about the damsel as much. What I would do is pick one or the other to really work with. And when it comes to like a smaller tank, like Alyssa's, and the reason I say it's a smaller tank is that we're talking saltwater here. Like saltwater tanks saltwater tanks are renowned for being big, right? Like that's kind of the thing, right? I don't know that I would put very many damsels in small tanks because I've done it in the past, and they don't like being in a small tank. Clownfish can handle being in a small tank once they're like kind of established and being in there and kind of doing their thing. And that's probably where I would focus my energy, especially if you're going to get tomato clowns, which are more expensive. You know, they're not snowflakes, but they are definitely more expensive than your average clownfish. So what I would do is just focus on getting the pair of clowns. They're pretty entertaining fish also. Like that's definitely the upside. The damsels probably won't be as entertaining realistically, but the clowns definitely are an entertaining fish, especially if you have a pair that are working together and living together. Whatever happened to the fish, the bot? What happened to the bot? It was supposed to remind me to tell people to hit the like button. Where's the Fish Fam link bot? It left. I don't know.
It doesn't like you anymore. You insulted it.
Well, we still can't even confirm that it's an actual person.
No, it did change phrasing on something it said earlier. I was a little surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those. It's one of those things. One day it was saying that it's an actual person when we questioned it, but then it does not person stuff. So I was like, I don't know what's going on with that bot. Maybe it's half. What is that when you're half? Are you a cyborg? Yeah, I think that's right.
Yes.
Enquiring.
Another movie we haven't discussed lately.
Enquiring. Oh, my last name is pronounced like enquiring. I'm like, where's the en come from? I'm an idiot. It's full on dum-dum over here. Quiring. Okay, that's how it's pronounced. Joel G was asking if it was pronounced keyring. Which I bet if you were a Kiwi, you probably would pronounce it keyring, I would guess. Because the Kiwis like key rings. I don't know. What were you saying?
I think I said different spellings, but yes, I think Mickham is talking about plants for videos.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I don't know. You were saying something, so I wondered what you were saying because
Oh,
you're
no,
a
I
human.
was just rattling on as usual. Don't mind me. Talk over me, I'm just blathering.
Oh no, I was just like, oh, you must have had something to say, and then you're like
Eh,
telling me about the
better
chat.
burn out than fade away. Anyway, go
Um,
on.
you getting fish plants? You can't plan for like improvising, but yes, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't like it that way. People may send whatever they feel for, and that's no fun, I guess. Or do you need people sending you fish plus plants to try in your tanks, or is that just creating chaos? Too much to take on in tanks you already have and other things. So, okay, this I kind of see where the line of questioning is here. If people were to send me fish, that would create chaos. If somebody just sent me like 100 rosy barbs or something, right? I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing here? I don't have a tank set up for that. If people were to send me fish, that would be super chaotic, and especially if I didn't have a say in the matter. Like, what if they sent me 5 red-tailed catfish, right? like, gaga. I guess I got to start digging that pond,
That's right. Alyssa, do you want some catfish?
Right. And so if people sent me fish, I would be a little pissed. Admittedly, I would be like, "What the hell is this?" And especially if I didn't have a say in the matter, or like who was supplying the fish, or where, it's just a lot. That would be a lot to deal with. If people were sending me plants, that's a completely different story. That's like,
Bring it up.
oh, bring it on. Oh, cool. Oh, crazy plants. I could set up a tank today if somebody sent me a bunch of plants, right? I have extra tanks. I could set them up. I can set them pretty close to the parameters. I have extra lights. I have extra filters. I have extra CO2 systems. Like, I have all that stuff. I could deal with...
And you love plants.
I can deal with random plants. If people were to send me random plants, not a problem. I was working with a local company that I thought was going to sponsor some content. They dropped off the face of the planet. I don't know what happened to them. I messaged them a couple times. I guess they didn't like the cut of my jib or whatever. So yeah, haven't seen or heard from them since. There's a larger company I was talking to, the owner, about possibly, sponsoring some content, sending out some plants and stuff like that. Haven't heard from them. I'm guessing they just got busy because it's coming up on the summertime and all that kind of stuff. And also, I'm not hugely sweating that situation because that's sort of an open-ended situation that shouldn't be a problem. The local company, on the other hand, was like, they were all for it. They were sending me messages. They were sending me emails, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like crickets. So I don't know if something happened to them or something went on. I sent them a message and was like, hey, what's going on? What's going on with this stuff? Do you want me to do something or whatever? And I never heard back from them. And I'm not exactly the guy who's going to keep sending follow-up messages. Like, I followed up. It's sort of like dating, right? It's sort of like dating. You send a couple text messages, you make a phone call, and if they're like a ghost, then you're like, all right, moving on. So that's sort of my stance on that situation. But it's become clear over the years that, like, as far as like making the content and stuff like that, it more boils down to like the availability of making it into a job is the most sort of important part. Because like a good example would be, like, let's say a company sponsored me to go to Europe, to go to a convention. Let's say somebody sponsored me to go to Vivarium, right? Fantastic. That would be amazing. That'd be great. But like has happened in the past, I film all this stuff. I get a bunch of content. I have all this video. I've been gone for a week and a half. I come back. I'm jet lagged. I'm behind a week and a half on the stuff. I miss a couple days because I'm jet lagged. Now I'm behind 2 weeks on stuff. And I don't have any additional help to maintain my current life, right? So like my job, my family, my household, the animals that live here, all of that stuff occupies my regular week. And then trying to make editing and all of that stuff be another week's worth of work, it just ends up getting pushed to the back burner because it's like, oh shit, I got to go fix somebody's toilet because they're going to pay me for working today, right? And I need to get paid for working today because I can't use like YouTube likes to pay my mortgage, right? It just doesn't work.
Right.
I tried to send them in, but they were like, we don't accept this as currency. And I was like, fucking why not, bro? It's so good. All the like button smashing and wiggling and licking and poking and tickling and whatnot. It's great. Take it as mortgage payment. And they were like, nah, bro. And I'm like, have you met my friend Gandalf? He's a wizard. Anyhow, so that's ultimately like what it boils down to is that like every day on this planet that I'm still alive, it costs me money, right? It's the same as it does everybody else. And then that number is ticking every day. And then I put some money into it, and then it like kind of goes back to this. But then like the next day, it just starts ticking again. And so like that's really like where I'm at is that like that number just keeps ticking because every day, and then I got to put the money in there, and then it starts ticking again. And the unfortunate part is that like mulling away on the editing and stuff, I realistically don't hate doing the editing. I hate editing in the middle of going, oh, I've got this cabinet job. Oh, I've got a remodel job. I've got a house painting job. I've got whatever the other thing is, and nothing is happening with those because I'm here editing. And realistically, I should be working on those projects that people are like just they're going to pay me for doing them, right?
Sleeping, yes.
Or go to sleep, which, you know, yeah, is difficult enough as it is. And like a good example is like Saturday night, I was sitting there. It was like 10:30. Vicky's in bed. Olivia's in bed. Finally got her to go to sleep. But she was just so wound up on Saturday night that it was hard to get her to go to bed. Finally got her to sleep. It's 10:30, and I went, I really should go out to my office and I should start editing. Like, I have stuff to edit. I could go edit it. I could go do it. Now, I was sitting there on the couch, like 10:30 at night, and I'm like, I got my phone out, and somebody had messaged me earlier in the day. They were like, oh, have you seen the new episodes of The Boys? That show kicks ass, blah, blah, blah. It's fantastic. By that point, it was like 10:45, and I'm like, dude, if I go out there and I get started, I'm going to be up until like 2 or 3 in the morning. You know, tomorrow's Father's Day. Somebody's going to wake me up early, and her name's Olivia. And so, like, regardless of if I wanted to stay up until 3 o'clock and then sleep, you know, the supposed 8 hours that you're supposed to sleep, like, am I supposed to sleep until 11 o'clock in the morning? That's probably not a great idea. Like, you know, by that time, Vicky is probably going to want to strangle me because she's been up for like 5 hours with Olivia by herself. And Olivia is like trying to do Father's Day. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just watch an episode of The Boys. So I watched an episode of The Boys. Then it was midnight. And it's like, oh, I should start making my way to bed. So I messaged a couple people back that had messaged me. Then it was 12:30. So then I went and like brushed my teeth, washed up, went to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Kind of wandered around a little bit, like, you know, check the doors, do the dad stuff that you're supposed to do. check the thermostat, make sure nobody's running up the heating bill. And by that point it was like 106, and it's like, okay, I better just go lay down and go to sleep because I have to go to bed. And so then I went to sleep. Then Sunday I got up at 7. I woke up at 5:30. Then went back to sleep and woke up at 7. And then did Father's Day all day, right?
Yeah.
And by the time we were done with Father's Day, like last night, I go, it's, been a pain in the ass getting Olivia to go to bed recently, but it was like, 9:45, and we finally get Olivia was to sleep, but I don't know if she's going to like wake up because she's kind of fussing and whatever. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to watch another episode of The Boys because then I can stay in the living room here. If Olivia gets up, I can go deal with her and get her back to bed. And then hopefully Vicky doesn't wake up, or at least Vicky doesn't have to get up, because today is Monday and Vicky has to get up early Monday and do all of her executive meetings. And she has to be there for those, And so Monday morning I try to deal with Olivia and get her ready for school, and then I drive her off to school and all that. And so it's like, like the days they're just ticking by, and the amount it's costing exists every day, and I have to make up that money and pay it to the bank and the other bank and whoever, right? So it's like, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like just, there goes the whole day. Oh shit. Oh, there goes the whole day. Oh shit. And then today I did need to work on these cabinets, but I have another thing booked that needed attention. So I spent like an hour and a half doing that, and then worked on the cabinets for a little bit, and then we're already on to live stream time, right? So it's like that's kind of how it goes. It's like with the editing and everything, it like gets pushed into these like weird times of the day, whereas opposed to going like, oh, Wednesday I get up, get Olivia off to school, come home, and then just edit all day, right? Like that day doesn't exist. I don't have that day. Just it doesn't exist as a day. So that's kind of the bigger thing as far as like explaining to people like, oh, I don't understand why you have to fund your YouTube channel. And it's like, I never had the post a video. Well, I never had the post a video and it gets 20 million views, right? I've never had that viral moment of, oh, this thing is on Reddit, this thing is on Facebook, this video is on Rumble, this video is on YouTube, this video is on Instagram, like everyone's sharing it all around. I've never had like that viral moment and then go, oh, holy shit, here's like a $10,000 video. Maybe I should like hammer down on doing these videos because holy crap, like it's possible. Like I've just never had that. And some people go like, oh, you're just fucking jealous or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm to a degree, I'm jealous of extraordinarily successful people because like, holy shit, like those people don't even have to think about money ever. Right. Except for in terms of like, do I want to buy a new Lamborghini? I don't know. Like, so, would I like to have those problems? Yeah, I suppose. But I would never have bought a Lamborghini in the first place. I'd be like, oh, I need to invest this money into something positive as opposed to wasting it on Italian luxury driving experience. I don't know. So, like, I need to figure out how to get my neighbor's lawn mowed and her yard cleaned up without me spending, 2.5 hours a week doing it. Right.
Afternoon doing it, right. Nikim, it sounds like you're volunteering to edit videos.
Or get a plant, grow, cultivate it, do videos, and then sell the plants at an auction of your choice. Then take on another plant. Will make you get viewers who want to learn how to cultivate plants. I do have like a lot of content like that, like the plant encyclopedia videos. I don't know how many of them there are. There's probably like 50. And my plan is just to make more of those. and the new version of them. So yeah, I mean, I made those videos, and those videos do get like, you know, I don't know, 10 views a day or something like that. Let's see, hold on, let's go videos here. Let's take Rotella rotundifolia. Let's see how many views this gets a day. Analytics. Analytics. 31 views in the last 48 hours. So 15 a day on it right now. And some people go like, oh my God. So this video has been
That earned you what, 10 cents?
December 23rd of what year? It doesn't say the year. It gives the time. December 23rd at 5:15 a.m. I don't know what year. I have no idea what year that is. It's been 1,278 days. I don't know. You guys do the math on that shit. 3.5 years or whatever.
Yeah. Ish. Not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite. Like 3.5, right? First three. That's literally exactly 3.5 because it does the math right here. First 3 years and 180 days. So it's literally been live for 3.5 years. The total that it's gotten views is 35,400.
I'm gonna guess. Let me guess. $8.75.
No.
Say it was a good guess.
Not a good guess, no. So it's gotten 35,361 views, which is 23,000 more than usual. The watch time is 1.8 thousand hours. Yeah. 1,800 hours of watch time. It's gotten 284 new subscribers in that period of time. And the estimated earnings revenue, $111.55. Yeah, so over 3.5 years, this video has made $111.55. So, yeah.
Time to retire, man.
Like these videos are great, and I'm definitely going to make more and better versions of them, the plant profile videos. Actually, to be clear, I was wondering how many. Oh, that does the wrong thing. I want to see playlists. Is there a way to? Oh, playlist. Here you go. There's a button for it. So the plant profiles videos, I have 52 of them. There are 52, so you literally could watch one every week for a year. If you wanted to. If you wanted to get wild, buddy, and watch one YouTube video a year, and then it'll blow your mind. So there's 52 of the plant profiles videos. I do plan on making new and better versions and revised versions of the ones that already exist. So that'll make some people mad for sure. So like the Rotella rotundifolia, I'll probably make a new one. Pearlweed, Lindernia, Cryptocorini balancea. So there's a bunch of plants here. I made profile videos. So I'm definitely going to make new profile videos as the time goes on here. But it's like a perfect example. It's like that's considered a successful video on my channel and over 3.5 years. So we need a calculator. Hold on. So we go 12, 12, 12, 36 plus 6 is 42. So we go 42. Wait, so we want, what was it? 111.55 divided by 42 months. I think that's right. Yeah. So every month it brings in $2.65. Right. So naturally the idea there is that, oh, you've got thousands and thousands of these videos that bring in $2.65 a month, but also at the same time, like that's a video that's doing quite well. So I have a bunch of other videos that have had fucking 0 views in that whole time, which then bring the average down even more. So that's kind of the big issue there. Is that like I've never had the 5 million views, 2 million views, 1 million view videos. I haven't had a bunch of those. So I've never had that. Oh my God, this video made $5,000. I better put 2,000 of it in the bank for the taxes, and then, here's $3,000.
The last 500 left.
Well, no, and then you go like, well, here's $3,000. That's enough to pay my bills for the next month, which means the next month I could just work on YouTube videos, right? Yeah. J-Rock does good stuff. Is here. Sup, Corvus? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you too. Are you gonna be at Findig this weekend? You can see me in person. I'll be there. I'm not doing speaking. I'll just be hanging around. Maybe going in the swimming pool. I don't know. 52 vids. That's a lot of work hours, but good for a video library. Yeah, that's the thing. And at Mickham's is a lot of work for nothing. It's not a lot of work for nothing. It's not 0 because I like doing plant stuff. I like doing horticulture. I like doing planted aquariums. I'm sure people have probably figured that out by now. I love doing that stuff, and I love being able to put hours into it, and I would love to keep working on it. And it's not 0 income, but the reality is when I go look at YouTube and I go, how much money did I make this month? $362, which, or whatever the number is, right? Like, I think it's like 362 after tax, after I put away the tax portion of it. Was like last month or a month, whatever. You go like, that's not $0, right? That is something like that has a substance to it. It actually exists, right? And you go like, okay, so maybe there's a good reason to keep doing this, right? And I go, well, okay, I have to manage like the expected amount of time that I can put work-wise into a project if it's going to pay me $362 a month, right? And go, okay, how much money do I need by the end of the month? Okay, that's not even 10%. Okay, then maybe that's 5% or whatever. I can 5% of my month can be dedicated to working on that. And 5% of working on something does not add up to a lot. That unfortunately is the reality. You're like the crime pays, botany doesn't of aquatic plants. I'm confused by that sentence. Crime pays, botany doesn't. Actually, the reality is that like work pays. That's the thing. If somebody calls me and they're like, hey, my back porch is fucked up, and I go out there and they're like, hey, my porch is all fucked up. What can you do to fix it? And I'm like, well, I could do the cheap fix, or we could rebuild it, and it costs X amount of money for this and X amount of money for that. And they go, oh, we want to rebuild it. And I go, okay, well, let's put down a deposit. Let's look at some designs, and we'll figure out a design. Then I'll get the materials. Then I go and do the demolition of the thing, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, doing the work pays money, right? And doing crimes, I don't know if doing crimes pays money anymore. It's been a really long time since I've committed crimes, so I don't know. Maybe maybe there are crimes.
Financial crimes?
Yeah, maybe there are crimes. Look up crime pays, botany doesn't. Oh, okay. It's a YouTube channel. Well, I will look that up for sure. Botany doesn't. Oh, he's big enough to actually, like, don't even have to finish the sentence. Yeah, 379,000 subscribers. Probably doing pretty well. Crime pays, botany doesn't. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check out this channel. He's a Texan guy, so I don't know. Does he go full crazy conservative every once in a while? I've noticed that with Texans. Every once in a while, they go full crazy conservative. Well, he's got a neck tattoo, so maybe not. Okay, all right. We're probably okay. He might be one of those libcuck Texans, which I'd get along with quite well. Fucking libcucks like wanting people to have services. What the fuck, man? Ridiculous.
Right. How dare you be able to live?
Ridiculous. Oh my god. You'd be able to like go to school? Oh, gross. Oh, gross. Libcucks. Ugh.
Had to pay for my school. How dare you make it easier for me?
Right. And then you go, how much was your college? And you go look up and it's like, you paid $300 for college. What the fuck are you talking about? For me, making breeding videos of Apistos and Killies would probably be the videos I'd like to share, but I don't know if I could take all the time for answering questions. Probably why I don't put up vids now. Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, like, if somebody is not, like, super talented in the video production world, or, like, maybe you feel like your personality is not perfect or whatever the hell it is, I always try to send them to crap, what's that, Fish Forever, this thing. It's entitled "Hi, I'm Brittany, welcome to my fish channel." So like they have not uploaded a video in 2 years. Why isn't the Social Blade button working? Hello, Social Blade button, work. Is this? Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, I got it to work. So the Fish Forever YouTube channel that says, "Hi, I'm Brittany, this is my fish channel." Haven't uploaded a video in 2.5 years. Today, June 17th, 2024, they got, so far today, they've gotten 2,539,782 views, video views. Yesterday, they got 4 million video views. They're going up by 10,000 subscribers every 3 days. They haven't uploaded a video in... Pardon me?
What is going on here? So
What's that?
Brittany aquascaping in the nude? What is going on here?
No, you couldn't have that on YouTube.
Well, you'd think so, but you know. Okay. What is her secret?
It's just short videos. They're 2 minutes and 39 seconds long. The most recent one was uploaded 2.5 years ago, and it's called "My Secrets to the Healthiest Duckweed." And it's literally a 2.5 minute long video explaining how to grow duckweed on your aquarium. Whereas every other person is trying to get rid of duckweed. I don't know. Maybe that's the secret. But the reality is that, like, how to hatch brine shrimp eggs with no equipment. A 9-minute video that literally has equipment in the thumbnail currently has 2.6 million views. They're just grinding out and getting, 4 million views a day off of this channel. And so you go, wow, they haven't even uploaded anything in 2.5 years. And then, so if you look on the low end, which is going to be the Social Blade stats, this channel gets a B+, and it hasn't even uploaded in 2.5 years. The estimated monthly earnings are between $12,000 and $200,000 a month of a channel they haven't even uploaded anything in 2.5 years. So that's the thing that I would remind to people, that if you're like, hey, I can't make the videos, I send them to this channel and I go, do you think you could make these videos? And they go like, oh, I don't know, maybe not. But I go like, could you make ones that are like sort of like this? And I think you probably could. They're not very great, but yep. 3.47 million subscribers. Yeah.
Crazy.
And you go like, is she aquascaping in the nude? No, there's nothing. I mean, she has the upper hand by being a female, but it doesn't have like, she doesn't have her boobs out or her butt out or bikini shots or any of that stuff. But for whatever reason, there it is.
Sorry that was my first thought, but you gotta wonder. So.
Look, man, if I could go tits out on a YouTube video, I probably would. Nobody wants to see my man boobs, though. Ain't nobody want to see that. Even if I worked out super hard, like Jack Hugeman,
Okay.
Hugh Jackman,
There you go.
like Wolverine, and then took my shirt off and aquascaped a tank or whatever. Ain't nobody would want to see that anyhow. And by the way, you might get a little bit of attention, but I am always trying to remind people that, like, there's a certain group of females that are insanely attracted to dudes that are, like, insanely jacked, six-pack, this, that, and the other thing, right? That's the, like, 5 to 10% of women that are visually stimulated like men, right? And more often than not, you probably don't want to hang out with them for more than a weekend. I'm gonna say that, which might seem a little bit spicy, but that's been my experience. There is a subsection of women that are visually stimulated the same way guys are, and they want to go to strip clubs and they want to see guys with six packs and their dongs out, and that might be like 10% of the population of women. I'll put it this way. This is the rudest way to put it. You probably don't want to get in a long-term relationship with those women. They should probably just spend their lives having fun, right? And not being like knee-deep in a committed relationship, right?
Right.
A committed monogamous relationship. And then the other attention you're going to get is 100% from the male-on-male seeking community who desperately want to see your abs and whatnot, which may or may not be.
Care if you're Hugh Jackman.
Well, Hugh Jackman gets the attention of MGM and Paramount Studios and whatnot. They pay him ahead of time for like the $20 million for like, you're going to play Wolverine, you're going to stab people in this movie. We need you to work out a bunch, right? Because you have to be a superhero, right? And superheroes are artificially jacked. What?
My point was the men for men crowd aren't necessarily particularly worried about you being all. I mean, there is a set that likes the bodybuilder trend, but you definitely don't need to be that to draw that crowd.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't, but that's going to be the crowd that you're going to draw if that's like the videos you're making, right?
Right.
Like, you get your six-pack together, and then you take your shirt off, and then you aquascape an aquarium, and for some weird reason, you're like spray tanned and oiled. Like that's the crowd you're going to...
You want to add tannins to your water in a new and exciting way.
In a new, exciting way, yeah. Like, that's the crowd you're going to bring in. Now, I will fully admit right now, like, if I had that body, I might be inclined to take my shirt off and get the male-for-male community to maybe tune in. I don't know. Because all you need is viewers, right?
Right. You don't need to actually, interact with them in that way.
Right.
They just need to watch.
Right. No, like I have like a creative idea of how I want things to be, and I'll wholly admit I have yet to reach that with my own content that I've made. I can say this after having made hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos, probably more than hundreds. I have yet to make something that's like right. I don't think I've ever made a video that I was really like, that's what I wanted, right? I don't think I've ever been able to do that. I can't do a lot of the special effects stuff that a lot of people can do. it's hard for me to add fart noises to my videos. It's like technically difficult. It's not psychologically difficult to add fart noises to my videos. It's a technical difficulty that I can't seem to get it to time right to have like crazy fart noises and stuff in my videos.
That was not what I was expecting to be the cherry on the top of the editing package, but okay.
I'm saying a lot of the stuff that I do is I'm technically challenged by being able to actually edit that in a way that is good, you know, in my opinion. And that's my opinion, right? I've never made a video that I went, wow. I never made a video that I went, wow. The antagonist is identified at the beginning. The protagonist is identified. The struggle is identified in a real solid way, or explained properly, of like how the struggle was worked through, how it was accomplished, how it finished, how it felt after it finished, and what good advice, right? Like all of those elements are all fucking jumbled up in my videos and fucked and not right. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it does boil down to like, at some point in time, I need to collaborate with someone else that can help like complete a vision of what the fuck is going on. And realistically, like me working by myself on video stuff does not work very well. Like it's just not, it's not optimized. It's not optimal at all. Like but that's the thing, is that like Mikam was saying, like that's a lot of work for no pay or return or whatever. But like the way I see it is like that is a huge return for me. That like I probably need to work within sort of a band setting, right? I need a drummer, I need a bass player, I need a guitar player, I need a singer, right? Like I can't just do all of that shit by myself and have it really work very well. Now, as far as fixing somebody's porch, generally speaking, I can do that by myself. Like I might need a laborer to come help like carry heavy shit and throw it to the dump or whatever, but like I could build a deck and it get accomplished and then get it painted or stained or whatever they want and it done, and then go, there you go, are you guys happy? And they go, yeah, we're happy. And I go like, all right, fuck me, I'll see you later, you know, like right. You know, like I know that I can do that stuff. So you know, it is pretty difficult. And realistically, as far as the like making a video, as I kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of it comes down to like the time management side of it, of going like, I've got this fucking ticking clock that needs to get paid, otherwise known as the bank, right? Otherwise the fucking repo the house. And then they're trying to fit it all into like a day's worth of work. A doctor recently said in an interview that Hugh almost certainly uses hormones to get jacked, and he was okay with that as long as it happens under control of a medical specialist. Actually, truly, yes, that already has been documented, that those guys are using steroids, but they do have doctors involved. They're doing HGH. They're likely doing steroid cycles and stuff like that. There's not an extreme amount of danger if you're doing medically assisted, doing all that stuff medically assisted. And because they're not in a competition, right, where they're going to like punch someone else in the face or whatever, they don't have an unfair advantage. They're literally just working out to look good. They're just working out to look good for a film and stay healthy while doing it, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, you go like, does Hugh Jackman do steroids in order to get that ripped? Like, yes, of course. Does he have like a base layer of athleticism to begin with? Like, fuck yeah, he's a dancer. I mean, he's like
He was, yeah.
like Broadway musical. He does like musicals and shit, right? Like that's what he does, and he does the dancing and all that. And you're like, okay. Strangely enough, this modern day Fred Astaire type character, right?
Right.
Can work with a bunch of personal trainers, a bunch of medical specialists, to achieve a Wolverine body. Like, yeah, of course, right? You go like, yeah. And also, it's not like the Olympics where he's going to be tested for steroids and kicked out, right? Like it doesn't, none of that shit matters.
Right.
So yeah, assuredly those guys are doing stuff. And like a perfect example would be like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you guys have ever seen that TV show, there is a he gets fat arc where he gets fat, which by the way, he actually got fat on purpose. Like he was eating. I forget. I was listening to a podcast where he was talking about his diet, but he was eating like multiple milkshakes for breakfast, cheeseburgers. You know, he was eating nonstop.
Supersize me diet.
Worse than that. Like it was, you know, he was eating nonstop to gain all this weight, and he gained a whole bunch of weight, and he got fat in that season. By the time the next season rolled around, he got completely jacked. Looked like Ryan Reynolds, right? Like six-pack, jacked, cut dude. And there's a quote from him that was like, yeah, oh, hold on, let me see if I can't find it. Let me see if I can't find it. Yeah, how Mac from Always Sunny got so unbelievably jacked. Yeah, you can do it too. All it takes is infinite money and time.
Just like you two. All right.
Yeah. According to McElhenney, who plays Mac on the show, it's not that hard. All it takes is giving up everything you love and hiring the personal trainer who got everyone ripped from Magic Mike. It's simple. And then here's the full quote. Look, it's not all that hard. All you need to do is lift weights 6 days a week, stop drinking alcohol, don't eat anything after 7 p.m., don't eat any carbs or sugar at all. In fact, don't eat anything you like. Get the personal trainer from Magic Mike, sleep 9 hours at night, run 3 miles a day, and have a studio pay for the whole thing over 6 to 7 month span. I don't know why everyone's not doing this. It's super realistic lifestyle and an appropriate body image to compare oneself to. Which is like the perfect, like that's like the absolute breakdown there. And then here's like the full picture and quote. So here's how overweight that he got, right? And then here's how jacked he was after the 6 months. And so like the whole point there is that he's like, look, anyone can do this if the studio pays for it for 6 to 7 months for the whole thing. You get the trainer, you give up all this stuff, you sleep 9 hours a night, you do all this stuff, and anyone can get that jacked, right?
Right.
And the reality is that like there is a in between these two that's totally fine, and no one would ever be like, ew, you know. Right? So yeah, I don't know how we even got on this topic, but yeah, that's the thing. Like anybody could get like Hugh Jackman if you have the never ending budget, like a studio's paying for it. You have that 6 to 7 months to do it. What's his name? Camille. The guy from the nerdy guy from what's his name? Kumail Nanjiani, who's the nerdy guy from God. What was that show? I don't know. Hold on. This guy right here. So he went from playing the nerdy guy on that HBO computer hacker show. I can't remember the name of it right now. So he went from that nerdy, overweight guy.
Right.
Or maybe this is a better side by side. So he went from this to this.
The IT crowd, I think, is the network.
No, it's not the IT crowd.
No? Okay.
Hold on, I'll look it up. What's this? Fuck. It's not the IT crowd. That's a different show. That's why I say that, because no, that's a different show. Where's his IMDb? IMDb. It's a Mike Judge. It's a Mike Judge show. Oh my God! What? He's been in a lot of stuff lately. You got to scroll. Oh my God! What was the name of that show? Okay, well, we apparently can't find it on his IMDb. Mike Judge. Let's look up Mike Judge's IMDb. It's probably fucking shorter. Way down here. There's his IMDb. Oh, Silicon Valley. Oh, there we go. Jesus. Nobody was helping. Nobody was helping in the chat. The chatters weren't even helping. Silicon Valley, which was an amazing show. If you guys have not watched that, I highly recommend that show. Great show. Anyhow, he played the nerdy guy from Silicon Valley, the nerdy Pakistani guy on Silicon Valley, and then was hired by Marvel to play one of the Eternals. And so they basically said, all right, you need to work out for 7 months. Silicon Valley, I said it under the side-by-side. Did you say it already? What's side-by-side? What's the side-by-side? I'm confused. Well, you got me, Aubrey. I'm confused. But yes, Silicon Valley, for sure. Anyhow, he got hired by Marvel to play one of the Eternals, which, by the way, that Eternals movie is garbage. Don't watch it. It's trash. But I'm glad that he got jacked and they paid for him to do it. Uh-oh, I hear...
Ali Nanjiani.
Yeah. He's hilarious, though. That dude is so fucking funny. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine...
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
I would love to... I'd love to hang out with that guy, seemingly. It seems like he would be fucking hilarious to hang out with. Oh, that's how we got on it. Just Bob says the doctor recently... that Hugh almost certainly uses hormones. But yeah, for sure. But that's one of the big reasons that Hugh Jackman didn't want to play Wolverine anymore. That's like apparently fundamentally the whole reason he doesn't want to play Wolverine anymore. So my understanding is that Ryan Reynolds finally convinced him to play Wolverine again, which in Deadpool 3, which is obviously he's in it and whatnot. And my interpretation from what I read, I don't know anything, I wasn't there, but from what I read is that he's going to essentially wearing a Wolverine muscle suit. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think there's ever I'm half naked in my underwear being Wolverine, right? I don't think there's any spots in that. Plus, I think even if they did now, they probably have enough film of him being super jacked like that they could just CGI the whole thing nowadays anyhow, right?
Right. And he's getting a little long in the tooth for that kind of thing.
I don't think it's the long in the tooth. I think it's the insane physical training regimen that he had to be on, that he's like, I don't want to be in this anymore. Because if you think like, oh, I'm going to do a 6-month movie shoot, right? It has all this fucking CGI. You got to do all this stuff. Or maybe it's only a 3-month movie shoot, either way. But if the lead up to that is 6 or 7 months of working out, and realistically, Rob McElhenney hit it on the head there of like, you got to sleep 9 hours a day, run 3 hours a day, lift weights 6 to 7 days a week, eat nothing that you like ever. It's literally like water, broccoli, unsalted chicken breast. 5 times a day, like it is.
Right. And don't even look at a grain of rice.
I mean, it's not even that. It's not. Yeah, it's not even. Don't even imagine that rice exists. Like that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
You know, and then you go, okay, you got to do the 3 months of shooting the movie, and then of course, like, oh, we need reshoots later, so you have to stay in shape once they go to edit, right? And then
Right.
through the editing process, we need reshoots. We need 2 weeks of reshoots to fix these scenes or fix whatever. But you have to be doing that whole time too. And you could imagine, like, if you're sort of like in this grueling work for, you know, let's say a solid year, every single day for a solid year. And at the end of it, they give you $40 million, right? You go like, oh, I have $40 million now. Do I want to do that for another fucking year of my life, right? I don't know. You're kind of coming from the perspective of like, family financial needs are going to be taken care of if you're not an asshole with your money, right? Financially, like, you're talking generational amounts of money, that maybe you go, oh, hold on, but they called me to be the singer dancer in whatever play, or they want me to be in Pride and Prejudice remake or whatever.
Right.
And like, wait a minute, so I don't need to do all that stupid shit that I didn't like doing. I was kind of doing that because like I needed to make all the money, and that's where I got my start, and that was my big start. So I didn't want to like turn my back on the big start. Like, he was in Van Helsing. You guys remember that movie?
Sadly.
Which, by the way, I thought was a pretty good movie. I thought that was a great movie, but of course it's like really niche sci-fi bullshit, so most people don't really like it. But I'm like, that's badass. But if you go back to like what he was in originally, like the Law of the Land, Corelli, Blue Healers, like he was in a bunch of Australian like drama, right? Like drama shit. And then he got the chance to be in the X-Men, right? He was in Oklahoma, the TV movie where he played Curly. And like these are all like everything he was in before being in the X-Men was like daytime Australian TV, like soap operas, like Australian soap operas and shit like that. And then he was in Oklahoma, which was a TV movie. I don't know if you guys remember Oklahoma, where the wind comes whipping down the plain, right? It's like, it's fucking terrible, but
I'm just a girl who can't say no.
at the time, that was the high watermark of his career, right? Was like, oh my God, I was in Oklahoma, right? Which is the high school musical, basically. But anyhow, he was in Oklahoma, the TV version of Oklahoma for Australian TV or something. I don't know what the fuck. But then he was in X-Men, right? In the year 2000. The last time he was Wolverine was 2017, where he played the dying Logan, right? He played dying Wolverine. But the last time like he really played Wolverine was Days of Future Past, which was like 2014, I think. That was the last time. Right? But you go from the year 2000 to the year 2014, how much money that guy made. I'm saying conservatively $80 million.
Yeah.
I would think something like that. And that's 14, 15, because 2000 is when the first one came out. So he must have got hired in 99, a year of ramp up to get it to working out. That's like 15 years of his life to go from singing and dancing in Oklahoma, right?
Right.
Where the wind comes whipping down the plain, right? And then 15 years of being a gym rat, right? Which
Right.
he was never a gym rat bro, right?
Right.
He was
Yeah.
singing and dancing on Broadway,
Kids aren't known for their gym ratness. No.
right? And then 15 years of his life was dedicated to being a gym rat, to being Wolverine, to medically induced, runs with steroids and hormones and all this stuff. And then eventually you just kind of go like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that. That's not even something I really wanted to do. It was my big break, right?
Right.
And then for whatever fucking reason, every single X-Men movie, all of the first X-Men movies or whatever, were literally like Wolverine the movie. There was really no ensemble cast to those movies. It was just literally like, well, what's happening to Wolverine? Well, what's happening to Wolverine next? You know, and you're like, I understand Professor Xavier's in this, but he's like, was in the beginning. He basically got fucked up, and you see him at the end. But the whole middle of it is like Wolverine interacting with people, right? And you're like,
Right.
Scott Summers in this period of the X-Men, Scott Summers runs the X-Men, but he is not leading this movie at all, right? So I always question those X-Men movies from the standpoint of like, these should just be titled the Wolverine Saga, because it basically like that's all it was following. It was like, it's like, hey, what's up with Wolverine now? You know. Plus, Anna Paquin as Rogue was like a bad decision. Anna Paquin's a great actress. She's a great actor. She's very pretty. She's way too toned down for what I fully believe Rogue should be. Rogue was a very bombastic character, if you know what I'm saying.
That's what I didn't read those comics regularly, but I do seem to remember her as a much more assertive at the very least.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she was assertive, bombastic, and haunted like a motherfucker, right?
Right.
Because the whole dynamic of her was like, she was sort of Scarlett Johansson figured, if that makes sense, right? Lots of TNA, very pretty, red hair, right?
Yep.
And yet could not physically touch anyone. Because it would draw their life force out of them, right? So imagine being an extraordinarily attractive Scarlett Johansson type lady, right? But you could never physically touch anyone.
Yeah.
Or they would die, and that would like fuck you up, right? So like that's why that character is so incredibly interesting, right? Is that you go, the dynamic there is that, you know, she is like as physically attractive as you could be, right? As a lady, and yet cannot condone or allow physical contact from anyone.
Right.
Right? That's wild. Right? And also leads to somebody being sort of over the top on a regular basis of like, it's not about the guy like trying to grab her butt or whatever at the honky tonk, right?
It's about
Because
the guy she might actually be interested in.
well, because the guy that touches her at the honky tonk or whatever, their life force gets sucked out of them and they die, right? And so you go, well, there's that.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, but she also has to like stop them from fucking with her because of the fact that like they don't even know that they're going to be harmed, right? So she also has to defend like pieces of shit, right? Pieces of shit humans that like don't even deserve it, right? Realistically, but she can't like contact them because it will drain their life force, right? So it's just it's a wild dynamic character, and like they had Anna Paquin, and I just really didn't think it was that great.
Right.
Yeah.
She was too toned down for the haunted she was playing.
Oh, big time, big time. Yeah, and imagine like going through your teens and 20s, like all the way through your teens and your 20s till you're 30, and be like, oh, there's just an empty void here that's missing.
Right.
You know? The one thing that most teens and 20s think about, like
Right.
22 hours out of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 hours are food related, by the way, if anybody was wondering.
Or sleep. Right.
Oh, no, they're thinking about it when they're sleeping.
Not fair enough.
They're dreaming. They're dreaming about it.
Food
Anyhow,
related seems generous. I think it would probably be closer to 45 minutes for food, but okay, go ahead.
yeah. Anyhow, it is 4 o'clock. I got to go pick up my daughter, and she's having a big case of the Mondays today, so I'm going to try to be there at the very least on time, if not a couple minutes early, so she's not the last one leaving, because that is a little rough on Olivia when she's like one of the 3 kids left.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. It sucks to be the last one picked for sports.
Well, last one picked up from school.
That was the equation I was making.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah. Well, have fun with the kiddo.
Witchy Cat, I will bug you later, tonight or tomorrow. Tonight, tomorrow, something like that. Okay.
Whenever.
All right.
Lady
I'm gonna bug you. Thank you everybody for showing up for this Monday live stream. I don't even know. We need a name for this. We got to figure out a name for the Monday live stream. I don't know. 20 new members today from Steven Skoglund, and everybody hit the like button. Of course they did. And Replay Team 6 is just commenting so many comments. It's unbelievable. Thank you everybody for chatting today. It was great to see some comments from you guys. Hold on. Mickham says, speaking of Gandalf, actor Ian McKellen brought to hospital after falling off a stage during a show at the Noel Coward Theatre in London, according to BBC. That is an unfortunate reality that people are going to get old and die, and I don't like it. I really don't, but it is what it's got to be. Yeah. Anyhow, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. I'll try to do a risk live stream this week, but I no guarantees. All right.